entombed for 3,000 years, wrapped growing in me. I have lived an eternity, suspended in darkness. Release me. Condemned and bound, the sands of time have run out. Curse fills the room, curiously open my tomb. Rising from the cradle of death, my sentence has come to an end. Release me, release me, wasting and running. Release me, release me. My curse is your curse, death is the gift I bring. Revenge in my hands, I feel no remorse. This is the mummy's curse. Release me, release me, wasting and running. Release me. Who's holding my hand in the darkness? Seeing ghosts down the hallway. There's a presence, bedroom shadows, cloaked and haunting me. Cold hand touching me. Fear overwhelming me. Tapping at my window. To open my eyes, a breath on my neck, floating apparitions everywhere. Go to sleep with the light on, I wake up paralyzed. Floating apparitions the darkness surrounds me, shape-shifting in the night, stalking you. Does my face seem familiar? Does my body feel you more? Will I change you or will it end you? And the power that I have can give you eternal life. Death doesn't know me. I become eternal. When the hunger wakes me, I live to feed. With the darkness surrounds me, where the mist, she follows me. I walk alone in the night, watching you, following you, leading on you through the night. When the hunger wakes me, I live to feed. With the darkness surrounds me. Oh, your life, I was still. I become the living dead. I own the darkness, and no heart beats inside of me. I become eternal. When the hunger wakes me, I live to feed. With the darkness surrounds me. Unspeakable crime, murder at midnight. A deal I made, a life I had to take. Someone I loved once held so tight. The screams will follow me, cries of my ancestors said, go away. My operate, resting in grain, shape-shifting. I feel the animal high. The change coming. We are one but not the same. This form I desire, innocent blood I will devour. Ancestors gathering round the dwelling, the spirit inhabiting, evil enveloping, the dancing graves in the night, the spirit occupying and transforming, stolen heights, dark practices, my secret life.
All right, folks. So those songs are written by my wife. She makes music, and So that one is called Bad Medicine. That last one, it's pretty good. It's basically about being a skinwalker, which is, you don't know what it is. Well, you haven't been paying attention to the show. Anyways, folks, I just wanted to say something. I wanted to do something today. Today's my birthday, and I want people to be happy on the day where I was born, and I'm not a big birthday person. I went live on Facebook earlier, and I said this. I'm going to say it now. I haven't celebrated my birthday since I was like 9. Since then, I think I've had maybe 2 or 3. I wouldn't call them surprise parties, but where people like, hey, and we did something. Hold on one second, folks. Hold on. All right, there we go. So since then, like I haven't had like any kind of real birthday. I'm not a big birthday guy. For about 12 years, I think I had 2 years off in between on my birthday, where I didn't work. And I'm pretty sure on those days, if I remember correctly, I just slept and rested. Because like I've said before, by definition, I guess I would probably be considered a workaholic. I don't really know what to do with myself when I'm off. I don't stop working because I enjoy it. I actually enjoy working. Working is what I do. And so because of that, I'm not a person who is needing a lot of money. Okay. I mean, I do need money. I have a lot of bills and things like that, but I don't need it from this. This I got into to be a hobby. It was to be fun, a fun thing. It was all just whatever. And so here lately, this latest round of attacks from somebody who I'm just going to go ahead and say I thought was a friend, and but I saw it coming. It's not like I didn't know. I knew that it was going to happen. It was just a matter of when, not if. And they acted like it was some troops landing on the beach of Normandy invasion or something, and it was D-Day for me and all this crap. Whatever. It's just another person spewing hate and garbage and saying a bunch of crap like they always do. It's not. It's nothing new. It's not something that I haven't faced before, dealt with before. But they act like it's some, like the end is approaching now. You got, the Soviet Union, aka the dude from Oklahoma. He's on one side and they're on the other, and they've teamed up to, destroy me. And so I want to say this, the accusations being slung at me now that I have done these horrible things, which is not true. He's latching on to what this guy from Oklahoma said, that his child got taken away. He did that. Did it himself because he got in trouble for whatever he did. I'm not going to discuss what I know about it. But the CPS did that, and they're trying to spin it and turn it into a conspiracy that me and others actually paid them to do it, which is ridiculous. But it was worded by the king of the LBL, which is what he thinks he is. The king of the LBL has spun it to where he says that he was shocked and appalled. He already knows the whole story, so I don't know why he's acting like he's putting on a big whatever. So and then he makes these big long statements to his wife on Facebook, which is ridiculous. Well, one of the things he keeps saying is that I'm a greedy man and that I'm asking for money. They've all been touting this rumor, and if you watch the show, that's not true. I don't ever go up on my show and tell people to give me money. So what I'm going to ask you to do tonight, today, and the rest of the month is very simple. Don't give us anything. Do not give us donations. I'm being serious. This is not some reverse psychology or anything like that. Save your money. Save your money. Keep your money. We don't want it. We don't need it. I'm going to prove to you, I'm going to show to you in the community that I didn't get into this for that. I've never put the show behind a paywall. Yes, it does cost us money to make the show. It does. In particular, not so much for me, but with Anthony, he has to take away from, doing the patrol hits and everything else, and we have to hire somebody to do that. And now we're having to hire somebody to sit out in front of my house and to protect it because of their ridiculousness. We come home and one of the car doors has been opened and busted into. This is ridiculous what we're dealing with. People following people from my household. I myself was one of them. And so I'm going to tell you right now, this is ridiculous what's going on. These people are stalking, cyber stalking. I'm not going to say it's the dude from the LBL because I know it's not him. It was going on before him. So but it is his friends that are aligned with him that I've been having a dispute with, which caused this problem with the LBL King. Before that, me and him did not have problems. And now an issue that he's come up with, they've come up with everything they can to throw at me, to try to hurt me any way they can. And now they're throwing a huge temper tantrum because once again, they're a swing and a miss. They're not hurting me. So he's raging because he's losing subs. Well, that's important to him. You know why? It's a very simple thing. He needs it. Okay. I don't. Okay. I don't need it. If I don't need the money, this has to work for him because otherwise it's, hold on one second. So I don't need the money. I'm not a person that lives and dies by YouTube. I don't have to have YouTube to survive. If this all went away, I have businesses to fall back on and investments and things like that. And he doesn't have that. It's called not being responsible with your money. And he can't say, oh, I gave it all away, whatever. I did that too. I gave a lot of money away, and I have over the years. But I continue to make it. I do what I got to do. And I take care of my family and my people. And so I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, what can I do to prove to the community that these rumors, these lies that they spew are not true? The only thing I can show you, I can put my money where my mouth is. And I can tell you this, don't do it. Don't give us any money. Please, for the rest of the month, I'm telling you, I don't need it. I don't want it. I want to do the show and show you that I'm not doing this for the money. Now, and you can take it beyond that. If you want to go through the month of August, September, October, I don't care. No donations, please. I'm telling you right now, this is the absolute truth. I'm going to show you that in this community, you can do this. If this is your passion and I can support this show, I will support it with my other businesses. And I will show you that what I want is to do this. Now, obviously, it's a problem for me where other people don't seem to get attacked for it, but I get attacked constantly and get accused of doing this for the money. And says, can you turn the donation thing off? I don't know, but if you can, we will. We'll figure that out. Anthony, look into it. If you can do it, you do it. And so that's it. No money. Don't give us any money. I didn't get into this to get. Come on now. I'm being serious, dude. Don't do it because I want to show these people the truth that I am dead serious about this. And this is not a ploy. This is not no reverse psychology thing. I want these people to see that I can do this show without one dime donated to me. Okay, without a penny. I don't need it. Okay. I work all the time. Now, one of the things I noticed after that person came down to visit, I thought we treated them like good people, like good guests, and we were nice to them. They did kind of mock us, saying things about us while they were here. I thought it was in jest. I thought it was just them being in fun. But the things they've been saying now, or I know now that they did really mean those things, and they told several personal friends of ours that we're friends with that they did mean those things, and those people didn't tell us until all this broke down. And now I've heard all the nasty, ugly things that he's been saying behind my back for the last few years, horrible things. Shocking to me that one of the things that he was resentful for is that I didn't pay his taxes. He came here and assumed that I was rich and so that I should pay his taxes. I'm not rich. I'm not wealthy. I do okay. But I worked really hard for it. And my story is true. I really was at one time living in my car. I was homeless. I literally had one resource, one asset. That was ease. That was it, and I used my fist to literally punch my way out of poverty. I'm not joking. And that's the only way I did. It was very Kimbo Slice type, in fact, he's somebody I corresponded with years ago because we tried to set up a fight. And he seemed like a pretty okay guy. I'll say that, rest in peace. But the thing is, these people think that I'm some wannabe internet tough guy. They don't know me. And I'm going to show you that too. Yeah. I'm partnering up with a local fight business here, and I'll show you. You think it's a joke? You think my backstory is a fake, or I'm a joke, or I'm some kind of full of crap guy? I'm not. I've been very real. I've been very honest, and they make fun of me because I've cried on camera. Yeah, because I get emotional at times, and I'm real. I'm a real person with real people's encounters, with real subs, real views, real comments. This is all real. People wonder why we were able to go to battle against like 5, 6 other channels and prevail, because we're real. We are real. I'm not saying all of them were fake, but we're real. We're the real deal. We have real people, and our content is real. We have real, like I said, real subs, real views, real comments, and real likes. Those are things all now that you can buy or create and all that with the AI, and you can buy all that crap. We don't do that here. There's no smoke and mirrors. This is the real deal. And like I said before, it's my birthday, so I just figured it would be appropriate to say it today. I don't want anything. Don't do it. Okay? Help us out and just keep your money. And it's the best thing for you anyway. You don't need to be giving somebody money. Just keep it for yourself. Take your money and do something good for yourself. Because I can show these people that I can do this without getting paid. I have done this, without ever putting it behind a paywall. It does cost money to do the show. It really does. But that's okay. We'll cover it because I enjoy what I do. I'm very passionate about it. And I've been advised by multiple people as of late that I should probably just pull out of YouTube. We are going to be going on to TV in October. And one of the producers said, they don't want this interfering with that. And I said, no, it's not going to interfere with that. And so they were just like, well, maybe you really just don't need YouTube. You should just kick YouTube out and whatever. So I was advised. And then my legal counsel also said the same thing. Do you really need it? And I said, I don't. And they said, then don't do it. And so everybody's kind of telling me to stop. I don't want to do that. I love YouTube and I love Rumble. I love Spotify. I like, to retell people's encounters or to have them come on and tell their encounters and question them and ask them things so we can learn and grow together. It is something I'm very passionate about. These people, I've said this many times, and I'll say it again. If they would stop and leave me alone and leave my wife alone, they really love to attack her because they know that hurts me. So they can't really hurt me by attacking me because I just laugh at them and make fun of them. But they go after her. And so that's how they try to hurt me. And this latest one was really horrible because I watched my wife cry for 2 days, just being frustrated and upset and just sad and disappointed in somebody that she thought was a friend. And then finding out all the things that they've been saying about us for the last 2 years. It's pretty hard. That was pretty brutal, man. I can tell you that. Really fake as you can be. But that's fine. That's what they wanted to go around the community and slander us behind our backs. And they got all of the villains in the whole community right there with them. And they're willing to be roll around with them in the mud. That's fine. Do what you got to do. More power to you. Congratulations. You're awesome. But the thing is, you need the money. You all do this for the money. You always did. That's what it is. It's a grift. It's a grift. Me, don't need the money. I'm not doing this. This is not a grift. I'm not trying to take your money. All I ever get is people that are against me using the fact that I get donations and they bash me, bash me, and bash me, and bash me. Well, that ends now because I don't need the money. And I'm going to show you that I don't need it. So there's that. No donations. Save your money. Do yourself a favor and take whatever it was you're going to give me and do something nice for somebody. I don't care who or what, but just be serious. Seriously. Say, I was going to give him $20 or $10 or $50 or $100, whatever it was, and just take it and do something for yourself. If you deserve it, if you think you deserve it, then do it. If you think, hey, I should probably do something good with this, give it to someone else. Give it to someone. I'm a real person with real problems like everybody else. But money's not the problem. Okay. I can always make more money. I have put myself in position to do a lot of things. Okay. God has blessed me. If I won the lottery, okay, I'm pretty sure I'd still be doing this. I mean, it might get to the point where it's just so much trouble, that I would just say to hell with it and probably just start my life over and do something else. Just sit back, retire, and write. Just because I just don't want the hassle. But it would never be money motivated. This could become a problem at some point, and you just have to go on with your life. Right now, even though everybody's telling me in my personal life, my friends, my old friends that I have a lot of from the old days are just like, is it worth it, dude? Because they see what I'm going through and they see how much hell these people have put me through, and they know me. I don't have like all these problems with people in my real life, in my day-to-day life. I've had like a couple riffs here and there from old friends or whatever, like just very briefly, because they're very alpha male type guys and we'll fight, maybe spar or whatever and get the frustration, whatever. And that's it. That's happened, but then it's over because you know why? We're men. We're men. We pee standing up and we do what we're supposed to do like men. Okay. Men sometimes can't communicate like women. Women will they know how to hash things out without having to beat each other's brains in. Sometimes dudes can't do that. Sometimes dudes just gotta go to the gym and say, hey, let's do something. Let's get this over with. And I've had to do that more times than I can count with people, man. Like I said, these are some tough guys and they're alpha males, and sometimes they just want to punch me. Well, go ahead. I got a pretty hard iron chin. It's not going to hurt. That's fine. And but here's the thing: every single accusation that they've thrown at us and they've thrown at me can be easily disproven. The latest round of attacks has been very disgusting and brutal from their new general, Pompey, or as I call him now, the LBL King. Congratulations, you're the king of the LBL. Okay, you're the Brotherhood, Wolf Man, whatever you call yourself, whatever. Amazing how you had to put the word wolf in there, since that's that's my nickname. So you tried to usurp that. That's fine. Whatever you want to do, you do you. You stay on your side of the fence and leave me alone. How about that? It would be a very simple thing, but they couldn't do it. They had to, they wanted their general, and they celebrated on Wednesday by showering him with accolades and money. But how long is that going to last? Is it sustainable? No, it is not. Money is a very short-lived thing when you don't know how to do anything with it. Like when you get money, what you're supposed to do is try to use it to make more so that you can survive. You don't go have a big party because you've paid your bills. And so, that's what these kind of people, that's how their mindset is. That's how it works. If I had the time, folks, like I said before, I'm not just talking shit. I would write a book about economics, very simplified, so that people would understand it. and understand what assets are and how that is real money. And that's what true wealth is, you know. But if you break it down to brass tacks, true wealth is within. It's a spiritual thing, not a physical thing. And with that, the spiritual wealth, you can build wealth of the mind. And with that, you can build wealth physically and just continue to grow. And yeah, exactly, Chris Anderson. Real men can pay their taxes. If I go to file my taxes, property tax or taxes on my business or anything else, uh, I got to pay that. I can't depend on another person that works hard all the time to pay my taxes. You know, and I'm going to dispel some other rumors too. If they keep going with this, I'm going to speak out a lot more, and I'm going to say a lot more things that are going to hurt their feelings. They're not going to like what I'm going to say, but it is the truth, and they're going to have to face it. Now, one of these truths, I don't know if Barton really knows or not. I don't think I've really ever discussed it, because when it happened, I didn't tell him. I honestly didn't tell him what happened. I'm just going to say this. The people that he thinks are so special and high and mighty, they're not above doing things that are not correct, okay? In a way that's, let's just say that there's some things he needs to just shut up, okay? He lives in a glass palace, and he's throwing boulders at me. He's one. The roofer is the other. The obese whatever guy from South Texas that drives around, you know, whatever, being in love with girls half his age and that are, you know, out of his league. He needs to knock it off, you know, because his girlfriend, he calls his wife or whatever, is angry and bitter and jealous. I don't blame her. Honestly, I feel bad for her. And that's the truth. I really do. This is not me talking crap or being spiteful, because if my husband was the way he was, or my so-called husband, I'd be done with him too. But these people, they live in glass palaces and they're throwing boulders at me. Well, this is something that you can take to the bank. Okay. Your own money, because I don't need it. Don't give it to me. Don't do it. The only thing that I would ask you to do if you wanted to be a part of the giveaway is do the membership thing, because people who are already members, they need something. Okay. They need something because there's a membership and they buy it, and they need to have something. So that's what the giveaway is for. Donations, don't need it. Don't do it. Like I said, if you want to give me something for my birthday, take your money, take what you have worked, your hard-earned money, and go and buy yourself something. Do something for yourself. Do something for your family. You can do something with that money. You can do it. I know you can. What really struck me the other day was a gentleman who lives on a fixed income, and he told me that he tries to donate when he can, and that broke my heart. That broke my heart, because if you live on a fixed income, you don't need to be donating money to any YouTube channel. That is not something you need to do. Keep your money. Take care of yourself. Okay? You don't need to give us the money. Okay? We're able-bodied men and we work for a living. These other people, I guess they're just too lazy. I don't know what their excuse is, but we don't have one, so we don't do it. Some of you not only live on a fixed income, and you deserve to be able to hear the stories, and it breaks my heart. And this is the truth. I'm going to be a little emotional about this, because I thought about this the other day, and I was like, these people, they send me messages all the time. I get messages on this phone all the time where they tell me they thanking me for just making my content free and available. And I think it's wrong. I think it's that they should have to pay. Now, some people, that's their livelihood, that's their source of income, and they do a really good job. And so I think that they should get paid for what they do. I do believe that. But you have people who can't afford it. They don't have what I have. They live on a fixed income, and I think I'd be remiss if I charge them for that, because the fact that they want to hear me retell people's encounters I love that. And that makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I made a difference in my life. Up until doing PRT, the only difference I thought I made was just whipping people's ass. That's about the only thing I was ever good at. And I thought I was just that, a glorified thug. And I realized that my brain is pretty powerful thing. Your brain is too, and you can use them to do things. And I want to do things for people, and I want to be able to give back, and not just to this community, but to the world. I don't know what God's going to tell me when I stand before Him. I don't know. I don't. I'm not 100% sure. He may tell me, hey, you got to go to timeout. Hey, you might have to go and do something worse. Who knows? Or, maybe he'll say, look, I'll let you go to heaven, but you got to go to jail for a while. I don't know. I don't know. I just hope that I've lived my life as best I can, and that they can, say, hey, you've done good enough to please God. And I hope that, because the one thing I can say is this: I love people and I love animals, and I've been kind to people and animals as much as I can, especially over the last several years, trying to do what's right. I do try to do what's right. I fail. I'm a human being. Sometimes when people say things to me, my listeners are correct. You should let it go, whatever. But then some things, like being accused of this, hurting this man's child because he got him taken away, whatever. That's an accusation that I can't let slide, because that people were messaging us asking me if I had hurt a child. This is crazy. This is insane what they're saying. Also, accusations where they say that I have been, unfaithful to my wife with women and men, that is just like, okay, I get it. Oh, he's a big tough alpha male, so let's turn him into some kind of, he's undercover, whatever. Another crazy bullshit. Okay, if you're that way, you're that way. That's, I'm not judging you, whatever, but I'm not. And I've never been unfaithful to my wife with men or women. That is just ridiculous. And trying to say that my wife's up late at night talking to men and women and stuff, or not women, men, I don't know, whatever. This is crazy. This is crazy. If you could see our lives, you would realize we're normal people. We're very loving and caring people, and in our day-to-day life. I was talking to my friend Arash the other day, and he was like, he asked me this question. He's like, did these people know you? I mean, did any of them know you? I said a few of them. But it's even worse if all they see is a little glimpse, and then they think they know you, and then they go back and they say a bunch of crap. But if you were here, and you got to know my friends and all the people that I'm friends with, how can you do and say these things? You would know, right? You would know that this is not true. And two of these people in particular, they do know this. They've met several of my friends, and they still persist with these lies. And one of them went so far as to say that he wanted to hit me with a pipe, which was pretty messed up considering I let him stay in my house. And there again, some of these people have met people that work for us. They've met people that are our friends in our day-to-day life. And still they persist to say these things, these horrible things. But I'm pretty sure that the majority of people, if you got to know us, you wouldn't say these things, because you would see. I have friends that have been around for decades. Some of my oldest friends, like 3 decades, I've been friends with them since I was like 17, 18, 19. Some of them even earlier than that, 15, 16, one of my friends that I'm still in communication with quite a bit. I met him when I was 10 or 11. And his name is Keith, and we're very close, and we're good friends. And I have my closest and dearest best friend that I've had since I was a child. Her name is Heather, and she's a very nice person, and she's a chiropractor, and we talk pretty regularly. And her and my wife are very close, and we're all very good friends. I'm also very close with my wife's friend, Frank. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. I think he's a very stabilizing influence in my wife's life. They talk pretty regularly, and he's a guy. and she doesn't talk inappropriate with him, and they're just friends. And he's a very down to earth guy, and I'm okay with her hanging out with him, and my wife's okay with me hanging out with Heather. Heather's married, right? And she's not unfaithful to her husband. And there's nothing weird. We're just friends. We've been friends since birth. Another one of my friends I've been friends with since preschool. His name is Adam. He's still around. I just messaged him yesterday. He's one of my oldest friends. Several of my friends that have been on the show, like Loki and Pete and Chief, and Scorpion, decades with these people, decades. All of them at one point lived with me at some point and shared a domicile. They rented rooms from me. Some of them stay with me for free. I mean, my own brother has been living with me forever, But the thing is, I'm not a normal guy. I'm a normal person. I have an ability to retell people's encounters and to, I've always had a passion for this, and I'm very well versed in some of these subjects, and so it does make for good, entertainment. And I've always committed. I said since the beginning, we want to make it free. We don't want people to have to pay for this. This is not. I didn't get into this to make money. When I started this show with Armando and Anthony and Tony, Armando, God rest his soul, one of the things that came up, and I'm going to say this, is he didn't like that he was having to pay money to do this. And I told him, I said, this is my passion. This is your passion. At some point, maybe we won't have to make money. And our dream, believe it or not, was, get this, it was just that so we could do this without having to pay for it. That was it, because we had to pay a lot of money to get this started. My good friends at Expanded Perspectives, I can say we talked at length about how they did it and how they had to get started, and the whole story about how they, started, and now they're one of the best podcasts out there. Tony Merkel's another one. He had to start, and eventually he took that leap of faith. He quit his job and said, I'm going to do this full time. But he was ready to do that. And so were, these other guys that I've got to know, like Josh Pinocchio from What Lurks Beneath. These are very large channels. All three of those podcasts and those channels are very large. Go check them out. They do great work, and they deserve every bit of what they got. They work for it. And so, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of other channels that do good work, and they deserve the accolades, and they deserve what they've done. But they didn't start off, just making money. And that's one thing I tried to explain to the LBL King, who complained incessantly, like all the time, at least once or twice a week, about how he wasn't making money and YouTube was screwing him. Well, join the club, okay? And, but I told him, I said, it takes time and a lot of effort and a lot of, whatever. And I do not suggest anybody jumping into this if you're not prepared to pay and lose money for the first year or even two. We barely started to make money toward the middle to the end of the second year. And it was very little, right? It was very little. And this money that we get for the show, thank you for that donation, but I'm asking you, please do not do that. But thank you. We appreciate your sentiment, but I'm trying to prove a point. We don't need it. We're not asking for it. But thank you so much. And I'm just going to read it because this is one of my listeners here. And, Miguel says, I'm on a fixed income, but I'd rather put the money to good use, helping you guys, Josh, Nelly, Anthony, Tony, and the whole PRM family to help you out. Long live Miguel, don't do this, please. I'm being serious. Because especially if you're on a fixed income, please don't do it. I was recently offered money from someone who literally, this man lives in a nursing home. And I told him, I said, don't do this. Do not do this. He says that he can do it, that he can afford it, that he has money saved up, whatever. And I said, surely you have somebody that you can give that money to, or you can help, whatever. And he was persistent, and I told him, do not do this, please. And I said this before, and I'm saying it again, and this is not a ploy. This is the absolute truth. I'm not a grifter. Some of these people are, and I've been saying it for the last year, that they are grifters, and this is what they do. And so that's it. You know, I don't want people on fixed incomes to give me anything. Just sit back and you take care of yourself and do what you got to do for yourself. And I want you to enjoy your life. And if PRT brings you joy and that's something that I can give to you, I give it to you for free. I've made a commitment when we first started this, like I was trying to say, Armando, I told him, I said, I'm never going to put this behind a paywall. He said at some point, you know, if that comes up, you know, we'll just decide we're not going to do it. And I said, you're right. That's it. And because I presented it to him that way. And he said, okay, we'll just make the money from the show and we'll split it, you know, whatever. But we never did until after the first second year, we finally made something, you know, it wasn't much. But I've said this before and I'll say it again. We were determined to keep it off of a paywall and from out behind a paywall. And I want to do that because there's a lot of people who enjoy PRT and they want to be able to participate and be a paratrooper and do whatever it takes to be a paratrooper. And that's fine. But yeah, I just, you know, I'm determined, you know, to never do that, to never put my work behind a paywall. Not bashing people who do. Not bashing people who do. Some people, this is their livelihood. But in my conscience won't let me take money from people who are on a fixed income. I can't do it. I just won't do it. And if you are, please don't ever give us another dime. Even if I'm broke and I lost all my businesses and I did this, it would still just be a labor of love. It's something that I do, that I'm passionate about, that I do this. I do this because I enjoy it. It's what I do. I love it. I love to do this. And it's something I'm going to always do as long as I can. And I've been being told lately that I got to stop doing it because it's causing me too many problems. But that's a shame. That speaks more to the people that are attacking us than it does to me. Because they're the ones that feel the need to be ugly and come after me. And I'm going to say this, this guy, his flimsy reason for coming after me was as simple as me supposedly being a person that said something disparaging about his pack, or whatever he calls them. I don't know what he calls them. I don't think he calls them. He calls them something. I don't know. They run around in the woods of the OBL. The other gentlemen in that group, other than one, it's just really the roofer and the king, whatever. The other ones I have no problem with. I have no beef with you, gentlemen. If you decide to come at me, that's on you. I'm not against you. I'll say this, you know, as long as they leave me alone, I'll leave them alone. They've been nothing but cordial and nice to me throughout all this attacks that I've endured from Larry. They haven't, you know, but this other guy, he was determined to get involved, you know, whether it was just from them constantly in his ear, yakking in his ear, and convincing him that it was the right move, or if he just thought that it was, you know, time to try to shut me down, and they thought that they could take my listeners or whatever his reasoning was, he decided that it was time to do what he had to do, and that was to come at me. And as he said, I am an apostate and a heretic, and that's also sad. I'm going to talk about that for a second. Yeah, they're calling me all these things for the simple reason because I dared to question narratives that were presented to us thousands of years ago, and to question the origin of our whatever creation, and to question you know, the words that people are claiming are the words of God, when I know that some of this stuff was just copied from other civilizations and then changed around. I mean, it's clear as day. You can see it. And I've said that, and that's my big sin. So because of that, They call me an apostate and a heretic, and they say that I worship space aliens, and that's these ridiculous statements that they make against me. And we've had to endure an enormous amount of attacks because of this. It's almost like every day. I wake up every day to more attacks, more slinging, more whatever. And it's not correct. It's not correct. I'm not stooping so low to accuse them of hurting children, because that's what the guy from AI is always saying, that I hurt children and women and children, whatever. I don't know what women he's talking about, other than the women that start the crap with us. And the children, I guess he's referring to his son being removed from his house by CPS, and his lie that he's been touting that we conspired to have that happen. Like I said before, that's a lie. And the man from the LBL knows it's a lie. But he pretended, like, with this fake indignation and outrage, which is, one of the most cringeworthy things I've seen in a long time. And like, I am hurt and I am shocked and appalled, that this man, he calls me the Austin Hammer. Okay. And that now we can connect you calling me that. And now you're making this accusation. So not too good for you legally to do that. That wasn't too smart. Letting himself get, letting his anger get the better of him. And we're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of it, but it doesn't change the fact that you did it, and now you're going to have to answer. But you're taking what this guy told you, which you already know the whole story. You've heard it from everybody, and now you're going to pretend like fake righteous indignation and try to slander me to the public and make me look like I'm this monster. And then these letters you're writing to your wife to try to show that it's just obviously this prose, the way he writes is, and my dearest Clara, I have been under attack. The Yankees have burned the town. I no longer have my legs, arms, or a head. But when I return, I will give you smooches because I love you. The evil demons, Josh Turner and company, that have burned Georgia to the ashes, part of Sherman's horrible horde of miscreants, have destroyed our Southern way of life. But I'm determined to keep fighting the evil Yankees that have done what they've done. Hugs and kisses. I hope one day that my torso returns to you, to snuggle you. Like, what is this shit, dude? I mean, are you fucking serious, dude? Like, I mean, where did you get this from? Like, were these letters that were written by Civil War soldiers to, like, their wives? I mean, what the hell is it's like some guy returning to Pennsylvania from Gettysburg. We stopped the rebels. They were at our doorstep, preparing to take our way of life and destroy us. My dearest Clara, I'm telling you right now, it was horrible. I looked into the 3rd Regiment of Tennessee, and I fired my muskets into the face of the enemy. Demonic, evil Texans fighting house to house, street to street, barn to barn. They even launched cows at us. What in the hell? What is this? Like, what is the shit? I mean, it's pretty bad. I mean, and then everybody's like, oh my gosh, this guy's under attack. His wife. Oh. This isn't what I saw. What I saw were people that fought constantly. Me and Nelly argued before, whatever, but that was ridiculous. Like, imagine people come and they're just like 10 days of arguing, and they do it constantly, until the point where somebody was so mad at a restaurant they did this, and you're like, what the hell, dude? I mean, I was like, dude, yeah, in front of 4 people, and now they're gonna say it didn't happen. We all were blind. Crazy, man. I mean, and now all of a sudden all these accusations or whatever, and I've given them an out over and over again. I've said, look, if you stop, I stop. If you just leave me alone. But the fat one, Fluffy, he decided that he was going to re-upload those videos from Crack Mom at any cost. He was going to do it. And Crack Mom has been more than willing to engage. And she's never been very nice to me. pretty much just denounced me and slandered me after I decided I wasn't going to continue to fight with her ex. So that's it. I just if Nelly is whooping you, blink twice. Oh no, I blinked twice. Don't hope she'll come in and start beating me. But and then they say these crazy things like, my nephews are living in fear and they look like they're hostages, and this other, and then they say that my wife is the mastermind behind all this, and another thing too, that I distributed narcotics. No, those were taken, boo boo. They were taken. Okay, so let's not go there. You don't want to go there with me, and I got witnesses to that too at the studio. Okay, do not go there with me. All right, don't try your bullshit. Okay, all of what you're saying can easily be refuted, and it will be refuted in court. I can drag people into court, and you got to tell the truth. You got to tell the truth, man. Sorry. Making people cry. No, that was you too, boo boo. You did that. You made people cry. Okay. That's what you did. So you've made now my wife and your wife cry. Congratulations. You're going to spin it however you want to spin it, but I watched it happen. And then the absolute explosion that went off because you didn't make a bunch of money at the conference. I told you that it was a small conference. Okay. And yes, I think we were not probably treated correctly there, but complaining about it for the next 3 or 4 days doesn't help anything. It did not help anything, and didn't make anybody feel any better. Yeah, I don't think they would tell the truth in court, but the thing is, I have people that can witness to everything I'm saying, and that they're willing to, and they have told the legal counsel that they will swear affidavits to what they've seen these people do and what they've heard them do. Okay. The only way you're going to get that is if you coerce people into lying. I don't have to do that. All I got to do is have them come up there and tell the truth from their memory, what they saw. And these people can turn it and spin it and back it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no, whatever you want to do with it. It's not the truth. Okay. And you can scream it until your ass bleeds. It doesn't make it so. All right. Writing big, whatever, eloquent statements to your wife and how much you love and miss her. You want to hold her, and the evil demon, Satan, is spewing lies, whatever. That's great. You're a writer. You do a good job writing. So you do you, boo boo, and I'll talk and I'll tell people what the truth is. All right. You need to get yourself up there, take the sunglasses off. Okay. Get a haircut because this looks bad when you're that age and you're still like, it's, so get a haircut and look like a normal person, wear a normal shirt like a normal human being. Stop acting like a wild person out in the woods that, survivor man throwing spears. Pretty ridiculous, right? You would not even kill me with those weapons. Okay. I promise you. Okay. How are you going to kill a Bigfoot or a dog man? And by the way, it is illegal to take those weapons into the LBL. So I would stop doing that if I were you. Okay. Just for your FYI, I'm not coming after you for it. I'm just saying, you want to throw stones. Okay. There's a lot of things you shouldn't be doing that you do on a daily basis. We break the law and we sin. We speed. We do all kinds of things. Okay. I don't have somebody sitting over my shoulder watching me every second. Okay. Because I'm not a habitual lawbreaker. And I'm also not a tattletale, but apparently when Josh Turner does or says something they don't like, all bets are off, and it's time to go full tilt on this dude, the apostate, the heretic, as you called me on my own page, and attack. But and now it calls into question anything you've written in your books. I wonder, because you're willing to lie so easily and readily. You're so willing to lie that if that's the case, I can only imagine you're willing to write anything down, then what does that say, man? I mean, what does that say? And you complained about not selling books at the conferences. Guess what, folks? I paid for those books. Yeah, I did. I paid for your books. So any money you made was just free money, courtesy of yours truly. Um, I also paid you like thousands of dollars just to write some words down in a book that, I mean, and now you're trying to say it's your book. You wrote it, whatever. Yeah, you wrote it. That doesn't make it yours. Okay. And there's a lot of things that I could say too. There was money I gave you hand over fist. One of the reasons why he's cutting so hard for Mr. Fisher is because Mr. Fisher was the nice one that paid his taxes, which I think was just like $1,000 or something like that. He needed $1,000. But the thing is, he paid your taxes, right? And now you owe him loyalty, right? Is that it? Is that what's going on? Well, where was the loyalty to me? Because I paid for a lot more than $1,000. I gave you a lot more than $1,000. I gave you money hand over fist because you needed it. So you talk about wanting to go to court. All of that's going to come out in court too. And guess what? It's going to show that I paid you that money. There's no denying it. You cannot say it didn't happen. And I would never have spoken about it or brought it up. But you wanted to keep bringing up money. You want to keep talking about money. Well, here's money for you. Don't give me any, folks. I don't need it. He does. He does. That's why he does what he does, because he needs it. So, that's it. Just 1 second, and I'll be right back. I'm going to answer this real quick. In conclusion, I guess, just to be straight here, this is it. I'm not asking for people to give me anything. Don't give us anything. I will, out of my own pocket, continue to fund the show. That's it. Me, Anthony, and Tony, between the three of us, we're workaholics and we work hard. Come here. What's going on? Come on, Beans. Come here. That's my girl, Beans. Beansy. You want to say hi? Truffles. Look. The door was left open. Here they come. Come on, Truff. Come on. Come on, pig. That's a good pig. What are you doing? Come on. You're a good boy. Wish I could pick him up and show you. He's right here snorting. Beansy, you're on my chain. You're always on my chain. But anyway, this is Beans. Remember when she was a puppy? Now she's gotten bigger. Look at her. Look at this. Look, big old Beansy. That's my Beansy girl. Oh, you gotta be in Daddy's lap all the time. Baby, what'd you bring? The baby's in here too. Okay, come here, baby. Come here, baby. What you got? Come on. Come here. Come here. Come here. You got papers? You got papers? Come on. Let me pick up baby. Come here. Come on. Come on, baby girl. Come on. Pick up baby. You gonna drop the paper? Baby brings me gifts. And then you got Truffles. I wish Truffles could be on camera, but I don't think it's gonna work. Come here. Come on, Truff. That's a good pig. That's a good boy. Anyway, my dogs are all over me here. And here come the cats. All right. Hey, maybe the door should be closed. The animals are going to be all over me in here. So, anyways, if anybody's listening from the house, maybe I could give them a treat or something. Come on, baby. Are you trying to bring me papers? Can you grab baby? Show everybody what she does with the papers. What baby does, was my wife's dog when we first got together, and we drove all the way back out to California to get her pets, and so baby's a good girl. She's been with us for a long time, and she's a real empathic and sweet dog. When I had the vid, she was right there with me, worried about me, always just like her and Panzer were just always there. And it was and Elvira, they're all very empathic little animals. And if I have anxiety, they'll break that door down to come in there to try to get with me. And so baby has this thing where when she comes, when we come home, she does this thing where she has to grab something off of the ground. And it's a crazy. She got it, paper in her mouth.
She drops it.
She's dropping it. Well, it's no biggie. But she grabs paper or whatever she can find. There she is. You can see her on camera. Here, you see a jumper.
Papers. Yeah,
There she goes. But then when you pick her up, she tries to drop it. It's your papers. Show me your papers. Show everybody your papers. Look at that. She's got the paper. You okay, baby? Come here, girl. It's okay. It's okay, baby. She's our little gargoyle. He's our little gargoyle dog. You little gargoyle dog? You got your papers? You got your papers. That's such a good girl. You have such a special talent. You have such a special talent. You want to get down? No, I can tell you want to get down. Come here, Panzer. There's Panzer. Come here, Panzer. I wish we could pick up Truffles and show him, but he's too big. But he's still not huge. I mean, he's.
Move the camera.
If you want to move it, maybe you can try to show Truffles on camera.
Truffles.
There
What
he
you
is.
doing, Bubba?
Here, him. Look at Bubba. My pig. And they're all in here. If I let them in here, they'll all be in here.
Buddy.
I'm sorry. I apologize for the mess in here, folks. We're moving, so it's just a big mess. But that's the Turner household. It's the zoo in here. And here comes Martis. Martis, the nosy cat. Everybody's in here. So if you open the door, they come running in here. Folks, I'm not making this up. I'm not joking. When I do the show, if I'm in here and I'm doing the show, they're all right. There's a glass door. The door has glass panels. There's 2 doors right there. They're all there looking in the door, waiting for me. And and even my fish, I have a relationship with them. Like I go up to the aquarium and they all, because I spend time looking at them, and it probably sounds kind of weird, but I'll talk to them too. And I really believe that they can bond with you and kind of understand you. We also have a ferret. The other one died. The other 2 died, unfortunately. And then we have 2 cockatiels upstairs, and then we have 2 hamsters, Thanos and Galactus, and we have 2 rabbits. I've shown one of the rabbits on the show. I think we've shown both of them at different times, right?
Yeah.
And then so they're very sweet too, Roxy and Cinnamon, and so we have a veritable zoo here. What's up, Panzer? Hey, Panzer, come on, buddy. He wants to get in my lap. I can tell. He always wants to be around. Hey, Bubba, come on, Bubba. That's a sweet cat. He's my kitty. That's my kitty. That's my Panzer kitty. You don't miss your kitty? Miss your kitty? He says hi. He's my boy. That's my sweet boy. You're my baby cats. You be my first kitty. You're my baby cats. We're fixing to get a new kitten too. We're going to the new place. We're gonna have a new one. I love my pets. And that mean guy said no pets allowed. What is he talking about? What the hell is he talking about? No pets allowed. There's always pets allowed in my house. But did you give him some cherry tomatoes? Yeah, give him some cherry tomatoes. He loves cherry tomatoes. That's my pig. He loves them. He eats them. He's gonna sit. He's gonna stand in here until I'm done. Look, that door. As long as that door's open, he's gonna be in here. He always comes. You okay, Truff? Name's Truffles. But anyway, that's my animals here. The door was open, so they come running in. I don't think he knows. If you call him, he'll go just tell him you got some tomatoes. He knows that word too. Like he does. Like he likes tomatoes. He likes watermelon. He won't eat bell peppers. I don't know why. They're not hot. They're not sweet, but he won't eat them. But get this, he'll eat like the pickled jalapenos. He'll eat the crap out of that, and he'll eat pickles. But he will not eat bell peppers. And that's just, I mean, it's just the thing. I don't know. Tony's dog, Banjo, y'all seen him on the show many times. He's a cute little dude, man. He will eat hot sauce. And I'm like, don't give that dog hot sauce. And he goes, if it's on the food, though, he'll eat it. Like, he likes it. And so it's a weird little dude. But don't give your dogs grapes. They say not to. I used to years ago because I didn't know any better. And my dog, Ivan, who lived for 16 years, is a mastiff. He ate grapes like crazy, man. He was a grapeaholic. And I was like, but I never gave him grapes with seeds. It was always the green grapes. And everybody was like, don't give him grapes. But I guess you're not supposed to give them grapes, and don't give them chocolate. Okay, even though they'll eat it. And Melvira, I don't know where she's at. She's usually right underfoot. She's like my little companion. But Elvira would get into my chocolate for my protein, and would just go to town, dude. When she was a baby, when she was little, she would get into it, and we were scared to death. She was unkennelled one time when we left, and she got into and ate a whole bag of chocolate, and we were like, oh my gosh, but she was fine. Nothing happened. The vet was like, well, it happens, and sometimes it doesn't affect them. But you can't give them cocoa. Oh, Elvira's with you, honey? Okay, that's why she wasn't. I was wondering where she was at, because usually she's like right up here. If that door's open, she's in here. And so they will camp out right there by that door until I'm done with the show. And so, yeah, that's a funny thing. Like the other day, there was something, I can't remember what it was, if it was cinnamon or something. There was something that we had. I can't remember what spice it was, honey, because the people need to know this. And it was in their food. And it was in something I had eaten, because I'm terrible about giving them food from my plate. I shouldn't do that. And I give them my food. Okay, I know it's not correct. It's not something you can. It's a horrible habit I have, and you shouldn't do it. But and so, but anyway, vanilla. That's what it was. It was Mexican vanilla. I get it from the Mercado in San Antonio, and so, yeah, I ended up having it in my oatmeal, and so Elvira just started eating it. When I set the bowl down, I didn't think twice that I had put Mexican vanilla in it, and then we got scared to death that it could hurt her, but it's not good for her. So anyway, folks, so if you've been with me this long, and there's 230 people in this chat, and it is my birthday, and we are going to do a show tonight, but I'd like to give you a little something, since that's why you tune in, really. And like I said, please don't donate. I'm going to show the community. If these other people who are so hell-bent on attacking us, and they'll find some way to spin this into some bullshit, okay, they will. But if they're so hell-bent on attacking us, let them put their money where their mouth is and do their show for free. Tell them to stop with the paywalls. Tell them to stop using that. Tell them to stop getting donations. Okay, these people that are attacking us, they want to throw stones at me all the time. I don't see other people like getting attacked for getting donations, but apparently it's a sin for me. So be it. I'm going to show you that I don't need it. Okay. And if I do get donations, then I'm probably just going to give it away anyway. So it doesn't matter. I'm just going to do that because you know what? It comes back to you tenfold. I do believe that one of the reasons why we're very successful every year is because we pay our dues. My way of tithing is to give. And so every year we do a food drive. This past December, Clough was involved in that. In fact, there's a picture of his rotund ass standing right there helping distribute steaks. People were like, they thought that was me. I'm like, I don't look like that. It's like almost offended, but in fact I was, but that's, yeah, he was there helping us distribute the food. And some of these people would not have the food for Christmas if it wasn't for us. We do it every year. Now, do I want to go out and tell you, look at me? I'm so good and holy and pious. I do good things. I am a good man. I do things that are correct to do. Like, you're not supposed to get patted on the back for doing what's right. Right? Nobody needs to give you accolades and awards because you do what is right. Now, if you're doing what is right, nobody needs to throw roses at your feet and tell you that you're great. You'd be like, that is what you're supposed to do. That's the bare minimum, dude. Like, congratulations for joining, the rest of society and doing what's right. If everybody did that and just did what is right, there wouldn't be a problem. So that's, it's always blows my mind how these people, they make out a big deal about me, getting donations. And they said that I give donations, give. I've never done that. I've never said those things to these people. We couldn't even get our cameras because now we have to use it to defend ourselves and we have to move and everything else. These people have literally turned our lives into a daily nightmare. They've turned our lives upside down and they refuse to stop. They want me gone. And I'll take it a step further, folks. I don't think they just want me gone. I think they want me off of this earth, period. My great sin, bringing you a better show than they got and telling the truth. They did all of these things out of spite, of anger, jealousy, envy, whatever you want to call it. That's what they've done. That's what they've done. And they are now inciting their listeners. Literally, the LBL King has incited his listeners to sharpen their spears and their swords and to basically come at me. It's crazy, dude. And there's people offering to do it, just like the guy up in Oklahoma. He's been inciting violence against me for months now. And he's got people up there in his chat saying they're going to take care of me and they're going to do this, they're going to do that. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked if somebody eventually does. But if something does happen to me, I'm not asking you to run out and take revenge or anything like that. But just remember my words. If that happens, if these people get their way and they manage to knock me out of YouTube or, get me killed or whatever it is that they're trying to do, if that does happen, okay, just remember my words. And remember what I stood for and what PRT stood for. And remember, these people, the things that they do and say are not true. They're lying. These people worked side by side with me to stop the slander from these other people. And they knew for months and months that these other people were lying and throwing and slandering us. They were right there. And the minute that I just said, hey, man, I don't want to do this anymore, then I was trying to force to be a puppet, and I was not going to do that. Then it became a matter of jealousy because of Anthony's relationship with Maddie. And they always like to say, oh, it was something that should have stayed between two adults. Yes, Clough, it should have. But because of you, it did not. Because of you and Larry. And y'all are weird as hell. Okay? To be trying to mess around with a girl way younger than y'all, and you're both married. And don't say you didn't, that wasn't the agenda, because it damn sure looked like it. And the other one from Germany, you think I forgot about you? You shit stirrer, whispering in everybody's ear. You were a big part of this too. So yeah, remember you. But that's okay. They can have their day. Evil has its day, but it doesn't. It has its season, and then it's over. Okay, and good does prevail. It really does. Last night, I went out to my cousin's ranch and just hung out. And I just felt good. I felt recharged. I came back with a renewed sense, and we talked some paranormal last night too. She's got some things going on with one of her children who talks about having been freed from hell by God, which is odd because he's 4 years old. But that's a story. I said, you know what? I told her, I said, we should come back out here and video you talking about this and just interview her in person and say, look, tell this story. But that's we're going to do some stuff like that. And we're going to go out and we're going to retrace the steps of the Headless Horseman. Now, that was a story I talked about last night. But the strange thing about that is, there are people who have seen this guy, and it's not real frequent as of late, but that was a story I got on back in May. And I remember it's like the day before Cinco de Mayo or whatever. It's a really weird thing. Like, a guy claims that he saw this thing. And I know this guy in my real life, so I think he's telling it, being honest. But there are other people who've claimed to have seen this thing. Now, I did get reminded when I came home, I got on the computer and I looked around. I found another story that came from 2021. And it said, my encounter with the horseman. And I thought, what is this? Now, there are a few like this, but this one turns out same area. I don't know this guy. He says he went by the name of Colby. I don't know him in my personal life, whatever, but he's a lot younger than me. So that doesn't mean anything. I mean, he's just said he's from the area, but he didn't say where. But one of the things that happened to him, once again, he was with another person too. He was driving with a friend of his, he was driving his friend's car. They were having a little get together out in the country. There's a lot of places out in the country where there's like people have a big old spread out there. There's a bunch of ranches. And I've gone out there and had a good time in many of these ranches and barbecued and been all over, Central Texas. Very beautiful place. And they were out there drinking and doing whatever, barbecuing, whatever. And he was sent into town to get some more charcoal because they had used it up. And it was not very late. It was only like 8 o'clock. And so it was dark already though, because it was late fall. And he said, we had the windows down and I was driving my friend's car. He's like, I had always wanted to drive it. He had a really nice Dodge Charger, Hellcat. So he was driving, once again, a very fast car. And like I said, I don't know this guy. He didn't give me a last name. But they were driving through that same area. And there's several little county roads right there. And he didn't specify which one. He just said, I went over the small bridge this entity is said to haunt. Like, he moves up and down around there. And now he is supposedly a Confederate soldier that was hung upside down and beheaded by the federal troops, the Northerners. And some of his slaves were killed too, because they refused to be conscripted into the fight against the Comanches and the Apaches, because they were on a campaign of extermination. Once they settled the South, they set about the business of defeating the natives. I know everybody likes to think that they were these good guys, whatever, and they may have been good guys in one way or whatever, but they sure the hell weren't when they did what they did to the natives. And I'm not going to get into a big old whatever. This ain't no virtue signaling bullshit. I'm just telling you the truth. And so what they did was they terrorized the slaves themselves. The supposed people they were supposed to free, they told them, you join the military or you starve. And if you refuse, and if you get too pushy or whatever, we'll kill you. One of the things too was they were appalled at the fact that the Southerners would live in close quarters with the blacks. Many of them expressed that. They were like, how can they have all these black people around them, you know? And so they were very mean and nasty. The federal troops were very ugly, and Reconstruction was a horrible time of oppression. And believe it or not, it was for not just the whites, but the blacks and Hispanics that were up here. A lot of them were pushed out and pushed, you know, down into South Texas by the federal troops because they didn't want them around, period. There was a lot of bigotry. And so you think, well, you know, those are the old days. Pretty sure it's still happening now. I wouldn't, you know, living in Austin, I was kind of shielded from it for a long time. I didn't have to go out and be around it, whatever. But now here online, it's all over the place. You know, it's pretty much a part of our daily lives at this point. And I think a lot of this stuff that's going on right now, these people, I mean, they don't like me. And I think part of it is because of my Latino heritage. I mean, people have, and well, I know because they've said it. Let's put it that way. You know, if they didn't say it, I might be like, well, maybe it's a suspect thing, you know. But if you notice, like, there's only one Hispanic person that's on their team. I'm pretty sure there's a good reason for that. And so I've been attacked for that, you know, whatever. And I'm not up here in your face, like wearing a sombrero and, you know, whatever the hell, you know, like I'm not pushing it or my agenda on anybody. I don't have no agenda. But I just thought, you know, man, this day and age is, you know, these people can't be serious, man. But yeah, it is pretty ridiculous. And one of them in particular has expressed to me that he doesn't like Hispanic people, but he's okay with me. And apparently now he has a black son that he raised. Gee, that's amazing. In all the years I've known him, he never brought this up until just recently, and to defend his position. That's pretty interesting, especially considering that I raised my brother's son, who's black. But whatever, you know. He says so. He says it's true, man. So it is. It has to be, right? He never lies. He's a man of God. He's very pious. So that has to be the real truth, right? So yeah, how low will these people go? I don't know. It remains to be seen if we've reached the bottom of the barrel. I have it just keeps going lower and lower. But anyway, this guy, he was a Confederate soldier, and you know, whether you believe he was right, wrong, or indifferent, I don't believe that because he wanted his former slaves who are now just living on his land and working with him, he didn't want them taking them and forcing them to go and basically be killed by the Comanches, because the Comanches were expert scalpers and they were really not defeated. They were just kind of starved out eventually. They were ass kicker deluxe. I know I'm part Comanche, and that not saying, oh, I'm proud of it. It's what I am. And from my grandmother, my mom's side. But if you look at, you know, the history of the Comanches, they were pretty rough and brutal people. And if you took someone's slaves who were former slaves or whatever, or their children, whoever, you know, the people themselves, I mean, whatever, if they were not into combat and they had not been highly trained in warfare, you were basically giving them a death sentence. And you were saying, hey, they're going to use you, especially if you were black, they were just going to use you as cannon fodder, throwing them out there at the front lines against the Apaches and the Comanches, both whom were very formidable foes. And the chances of getting killed were pretty damn high. So this gentleman decided that he was not going to let that happen. And so they took him and his son and they killed him. And then they killed several of his slaves that rebelled against their little plan to take them. And they showed them, look, this is what's going to happen. So the people in the area will know we mean business. When we come to your land, which we now own, if you don't do what we say, we're going to kill you in a very brutal way. So they left him hanging from an oak tree on his own property as a warning to the others that if you defy us, this is what the price is. You'll pay. And so this man, born of the spirit of vengeance, as the story goes, rides up and down the back roads and comes out of the fields. Well, that's what happened this night with this Colby guy. He's a younger guy, not my age, but he was driving his friend's car, and he goes, and we're going through those back roads, and I know they got some curves and stuff. And if you got a nice car like a Charger or whatever, people will take those back roads and have fun with it. And he said that they were driving through there, and they see this glowing light out of the cornfield. And when they looked to the right, they both saw this specter, this entity that looked like he was wearing, they kind of looks like they have the half cape, go look it up. It's like the Confederates and the Yankees cavalry both had the same sort of design. And it was a French design that they copied. And they used that in the war against Mexico when Texas had fought for independence. Later, Mexico tried to mess with them again, and the United States had a war and attacked Mexico. And so the Texas-Mexican War kicked off, and, that was the uniform that they wore. And a lot of those generals fought together in that war, like Robert E. Lee and what's his face, Sheridan. A lot of these people were together. Stonewall Jackson, all these people, Burnside, they were all together in that war. And then when it was over, they ended up having to be on opposite sides, and then they were killing each other, and throwing troops into meat grinders, And so it was a horrible thing. The Civil War should never have happened the way it did, but it did. And so what ended up happening, this guy, he comes out with that cavalry uniform, and he's got a sword unsheathed, and he's holding it, and he begins to run toward their car. There have been a few accounts where this guy has actually run alongside a car and attacked it, according to what they've said. We talked about this on the show. I think it was the Hoxie Bridge. I think it's that one. Anyway, there's a couple different ones on that. This being runs alongside their car, and he's just holding his sword. He doesn't attack them, doesn't do anything, and then he just back into the cornfield, and he's gone. It was a very brief encounter, but they both agreed that he didn't have a head. Now, let's break it down. Here's the thing. This horseman could be a person that's just doing this, like masquerading, right? They could just be have something that goes up over their head that would make your shoulders and body look really elongated and kind of weird, and your arms are down here. But I did ask that question from not him, but from my friend Pete. I said, when this guy did the about face, and it's on the show I did last night, and he ran back, or his horse galloped back towards you, and you and your girlfriend looked to your left and you saw him, I said, did it look like possibly, like just, for argument's sake, that somebody could have been wearing something? And he goes, you're asking if it's a costume? He says, no, it wasn't. And I said, okay, just making sure, because I got to know. Just don't just want to spit some bullshit and then, because somebody says, but I need to know. Plus, I'm curious for myself. You know what I mean? I just want to know. I've never seen anything like that. I've seen the Dogman creature when I was 15, but that, no. I've seen these weird, what I believe is the Conejo, with my friend Tony Duran and my other friend Jason Carr. We saw these things. But this thing ran by them, and they see it. That's the account from last night, the guy Pete. And looking at that thing, it had no head. And he was very convinced that he's like, there's no way. No way. He goes, that I missaw what I saw. I know what I saw. And his girlfriend saw it too. She's actually very ill right now. So, but it's messed up. If, say for argument's sake, there was a guy riding around in the dark in a cornfield dressed like that. He just sitting there on his horse waiting for a car to come by, and then he rides out, and then he turns back and he's gone. It's funny because Cynthia says, "Behold a pale horse." It actually is a pale horse. Not only is his horse pale, he's pale too. But not only that, but his horse does look like a grayish white. Like that's the color of the horse. And most people see him as he's solid. But he doesn't have a head. There's no head. So what do you make of that? Very weird. The ghost of Hoxie Bridge is also a headless ghost, but he's not a horse riding ghost. The headless ghost of the Hoxie Bridge, same thing. But he got his head blown off by a shotgun blast because he refused to work. He was a convict. And so they hung him up from the trestles by his feet. And as a warning to the other convicts, they're like, "You feel like working now?" And they're probably like, "Okay, yeah, we'll work." Cindy says, "Did you hear about a possible serial killer in Austin?" Oh, yeah. And I've talked about that a little bit too. And I'd like to get into that at some point. I believe that it is an evil spirit. I'm not saying that it's a demon spirit that's dragging these people, but there is a spirit called the Aisha Kandicha. And it's from Morocco, in particular Morocco, but it's now found all over the Middle East, and it's kind of one of these things that evolved kind of like the La Llorona. La Llorona is a story that I believe can be traced back when the siege of Tenochtitlan was going on, and the Spaniards were fighting the Aztecs tooth and nail, and there was a woman that was heard wailing, my children, we are lost. The treasures of our ancestors sit at the bottom of the lake, blah, blah, blah." And so it's a story that just developed. And then over time, it became, people would hear that. People of Mexican descent would hear this. And I think it was born out of people who had that bloodline, almost like an ancestral memory, possibly. What ends up happening, people of Mexican descent, because there's only Mexican descent. There's no other type of Latino has this same phenomenon. And people hear this wailing woman, my children are lost. A story has grown up around it. We did a song about it. My wife wrote one. And so she murders her children by throwing them into a lake and to drown them. And then she had this remorse. And she decides that she feels bad about it. And so her penance is to roam the earth looking for her children, which she will never find. She'll never find them because they're in heaven. And she's earthbound until Judgment Day. So, the story of that, it rings with, sort of, you have this same sort of whatever, a scenario where there could be some validity to it, because people do hear it. Anthony heard a wailing one night with his friends, and he said it scared him. It always bothered him. I think that what happens is these beings are born like the Aisha Kandicha, which is like literally was born from the war in Morocco when the Portuguese had tried to take Morocco, and centuries ago in the 1700s, and she was taking soldiers and drowning them in the water. But of course, for her to have that kind of power, she was already some sort of supernatural being. She was seen as having the ability to take a full-grown man and kill them with her bare hands, which would have to be a very powerful woman. And so many people believe that she was a type of sorcerer, or maybe she was like an elemental that was taking the form of humans to kill other humans. But I think it's a spirit very similar to that, which is leading these people, or whoever they are, to take these men and kill them the way they're doing it. And it could be, like it's been suggested by one of my peers that does YouTube, and I think it's on Mr. Black's channel, He says that he believes it's a group, a ring of them. But oftentimes these rings, whether it's directly or indirectly, they're involved in demonic worship, and they do these things, you know. And so it could be that something just really sinister, or they are obsessed on or possessed by demonic spirits, and they do these. That's why these people are being killed in the water. I can't say 100% because I don't know, but I suspect it could be something like that. This is spirit that's attached to these people. Anyways, folks, thank you for tuning in. I just wanted to throw that out there, and I wanted to tell everybody we're not accepting any donations, and unless there's a way to put it on there to stop it. We don't give us the money, and I can prove my point that I'm doing this because I enjoy doing it. I'm very passionate about it, and I don't need the donations, man. If you think, when somebody gives you money to do this, it's because they think that you're doing a good job, and they appreciate you, and you're very good at what you do. So they're like, hey, here's something to show that I appreciate what you're doing. And that's all I've ever done, and is gotten that for bringing you the encounters and bringing you the information, or having people come on and tell their encounters, and we break down their encounters and stories and information. But apparently that's too much to ask from me. So my enemies have just beat the drum because they're mad because people give us money and they want it. So this guy that calls me the greedy man, whatever, he seems pretty greedy himself because all he talks about is his subs. And he was given a bunch of money on Wednesday. At least that's what I was told. I didn't look. I don't know. But they said that he was being given money hand over fist, and it was basically a pep rally against PRT and me. And they were all giving him accolades and kissing his ass and throwing him money and whatever. Good, because apparently he needs it, because he's going to do this now instead of trying to work. So I'm sure you do. You probably need the money. And I know this too. Your wife doesn't even like doing the paranormal because she told us that when she was here. She said it's not interesting and it's boring, and she only does it because you make her. So there's that. I didn't want to say that, but that's the truth. That's what she said. Now, she can refute it because you'll probably tell her to go and refute it, but that's what she said. So my wife came to me and said, look, I don't like the paranormal. I don't want to do the paranormal cryptids and all this stuff. I don't want to do it. It's just, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm just going to tell her, okay, yeah, then that's it. You don't have to do it. It's done. But that's it. I mean, that would be the end of it. But no, not him. He's got to, whatever. Yeah, more crap. I forgot what crap stands for. What was it that Tony said? Bless you. I heard Anthony sneezing. I know that crap stands for what do you say? Dang it. I can't remember what it stands for now. Yeah, Nat You Haunted. I know you had said something on the show last night about doing a collaboration, you and your son. I'd love to. If you guys want to be a part of the show, whatever, just giving you the heads up, like, hey, reach out to me. Just send your information, Josh Turner at prtpodcast.com, and send me your information, and maybe we can set something up and we can talk. Critics raging against paratroopers. I don't think it was critics. I thought it was Krusty Reed. There you go. Tony Mushu came up with that. He said Krusty rejects against paratroopers, or against PRT, whatever it was. Yeah, Krusty reject. Rita remembers. Oh, good old Rita. Oh man, Krusty rejects against PRT. I think it was like against paratroopers. What it was, Krusty Rejects against paratroopers. But tonight, don't forget, if you're a member, like I said, that's the only thing we're going to keep is the members, like whatever for the as far as the donations, whatever. If you want to buy a membership, that's fine. Because it's an option that's on there, and a bunch of people bought one, and they're like, well, "What do we get for it?" And I'm like, "Well, nothing, because I don't have my stuff on a paywall, so I have to give you something." So in order to fulfill that, we decided to do the giveaways every Sunday, because we used to do them through the Facebook group, and I'm like, "Hey, we'll do the giveaway. You can win some stuff." We're going to be giving away several T-shirts tonight because it's my birthday. We're going to do a huge giveaway. Hopefully, my voice lasts or whatever. But we're going to be giving away a bunch of stuff tonight. Okay. So tune in tonight as we do some serious giving. All right. Thank you. And I'll see you tonight.